This film is brought to you by 4-H, America's largest youth development organization. Made possible by a grant from Toyota.
There is a substance. Where does it come from? What does it have to do with these socks, this pizza pocket, and this foot? We'll meet 4-H'ers who cut through the spin and give it to us straight. We'll meet environmental engineers who save 1 million gallons of it without breaking a sweat. We'll visit a place that 1 million toilets flush into. We'll pan until quickly across things. We'll change the speed of the video. We'll have crossfades, lens flares, explosions. Explosions?
Okay, for real. Now that I have your attention, what is the big deal with water? We all know it's important, but did you know that a lot of places around the country are actually predicted to run out of water if things don't change? Yep. And not just places you've never heard of, but big cities like Atlanta, San Francisco, Houston, and Los Angeles. To help you understand why, let's check out my hometown of San Antonio, Texas. Everybody's water has a story behind it, but San Antonio's water story is special because it starts underground, in the Edwards Aquifer. Technically, an aquifer is
a confined or unconfined subterranean layer of water-bearing semi-permeable rock or unconsolidated material.
But basically, it's a giant natural underground water storage. To help explain how all that water gets there, I want you to meet this guy, Greg W. He's a water educator for the city, and he's going to tell us the story of San Antonio's water. So let's head out of town and have a look at where it all starts.
Here we are in the Texas Hill Country, just north of San Antonio. You see, it all begins when we get a large rainstorm and the water flows right down this watershed, or this low area between two hills, and enters right behind us at this sinkhole.
There are a bunch of different places where water enters the Edwards Aquifer, but at this sinkhole, you can actually walk down in it and see what it looks like. When it rains, water goes underground and works its way through these rocks. Over the years, the rocks filter the water as it moves underground towards San Antonio. Now let's head back to the city to see what's next.
Well, here we are at the second part of our water story, and we're standing here at Basin Pump Station. The well that you see behind me is one of 60-plus wells across the city of San Antonio, set at about 1,000 feet into the Edwards Aquifer. So you talk about some really big pipes. Well, the pipes behind me that you see are actually moving the water to our customers' homes in the city. And this is happening all across San Antonio. In fact, today alone, about 160 million gallons of water will be pumped at pump stations like this and moved through pipes like these to people's homes across the city.
This is where you come into the story. Water arrives at your home, you use it, you make it dirty, and it goes down the drain. And then?
This is part of the water story that most of us don't like to think about. Yucky sewage water. All the water you see behind me at one time was sewage water. But it's now been treated, it's now been cleaned, and it's now being put back into the environment.
Now you know the story of San Antonio's water. What's the story of your water? Does your water come from a river or a reservoir, or does it come from an aquifer like San Antonio? Whatever your water supply is, there's a good chance that it's threatened. Like most cities, San Antonio is growing, and climate change could mean less rainfall recharging the Edwards Aquifer. More people and less water is a sketchy combination. So, how much water are we using? First, here's a question. Do you know what your water footprint is? Your water footprint is the total amount of water you use. It includes both your direct and indirect uses. Your direct usage is probably about 100 gallons per day. Yeah, 100 gallons. How? Well, you shower, you wash clothes and dishes, water the lawn, you flush the toilet. But the average American's water footprint is about 1,800 gallons a day. 1,800 gallons? It's because your indirect use is the biggest part of your water footprint. Your total water footprint is the water it takes to make everything. So look around. It all takes water to make. That's right, the pizza pocket you only ate half of last night, the glass of milk you had this morning, the socks you got for Christmas that you didn't even want. So what's a kid to do? We still need stuff now and then, and we certainly need to eat, but there are choices you can make to reduce your water footprint. Example, soda and energy drinks take about 500 times their volume in water to produce. That means a cup of soda takes 500 cups of water to make. So ironically, one way to save water is to drink more water, instead of this other stuff. But watch out for bottled water. It takes more water to make the bottle than is in the bottle. One of the biggest things you can do to reduce your water footprint is just don't waste stuff. There's a story behind all your stuff, and a big part of that story involves water. Another thing you can do to help reduce your water footprint is check out local companies that make stuff, and make sure they're doing everything they can to save water and keep it clean. Let's check out one company in San Antonio with a passion for water conservation.
Hello, my name is Chris Gray. I'm an environmental engineer for Toyota Motor Manufacturing in San Antonio, Texas. It takes roughly 1,000 gallons of water to make a car. We're using over 900 gallons recycled water, which is 900 gallons that we don't have to take out of the aquifer.
Hi, I'm Ron. I'm an environmental specialist with Toyota in Texas. I really like my job because I think as an industrial site we can have such an impact on the air and the quality of the water.
This is very rewarding to me to be a part of these processes where we can use recycled water and not take water directly out of the aquifer.
I think it's very important for us to be very careful and respectful to the environment because what we do now will have impacts on generations to come.
You're probably not old enough to be an environmental engineer yet, but you can do your own research about the stuff you buy, the businesses in your area using water, and how it affects your water supply. And then, spread the word. It's something you can do right now. It's all about taking responsibility for your community, and there are plenty of 4-Hers doing just that.
Hi, my name is Morgan. I am the president of the Dover 4-H Connection, and I live in Converse, Texas. Up into what? I do presentations with young children, and I teach them how when water touches the ground from the clouds, how it goes into groundwater and how it evaporates back up into the sky and the process that it goes through.
Turf grass, that's exactly the grass that is at your house that you run on or you play on. The last one is a tall grass, which is an
I love kids, so teaching them and letting them know things that I already know, I think that benefits my community because when I'm teaching young children at that age, they can always run and tell their parents about what they learned, and then those parents can go ahead and tell somebody else and it'll pass on.
Because it just comes straight from the dirt and soil.
They are tomorrow. So it's very important to me to give back to my community.
Like you see how the water is mostly clean, it's mostly clear, and the runoff water is mostly dirty.
Okay, it's awesome. No, just kidding. Look, there's some soil in here. You can feel that. Let's grab it out.
These represent the clouds, and the water will start falling out, which is representing the rain.
Water rules!
Hi, I'm Travis. I'm 14 years old. I live in Atkins, Texas, and I'm a 4-H team leader. We have a lot of farms and ranches around the area that rely on the Edwards Aquifer. What I try to get across to kids is that it's important to conserve water, especially here in San Antonio, that's prone to the droughts of South Texas. I'm gonna put one in the sun.
Hey, this is Katie. I'm a senior in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm the vice president for the Southwest 4-H Club.
Hey, I'm Catalina from San Antonio, Texas. I'm a sophomore in high school and a parliamentarian officer for the Bexar County 4-H.
So basically what we're doing here is showing the kids how the aquifer works and the different layers of the aquifer. And the way we're showing them is with our little edible aquifers which we're making right now.
We're gonna have the best time.
I think these presentations are gonna help us be more informed and help the younger kids become more informed. It hopefully teaches them how to use water in a smarter way.
My environment and community is very important to me, so I strive to educate the youth about water issues and water conservation.
Cheers to aquifers!
And San Antonio isn't the only place where 4-Hers are spreading the word about water. There are water issues all over the country. But wherever there are water issues, there are local 4-H clubs tackling them, starting their own revolution of responsibility in their communities. From monitoring water pollution in Mississippi or planting 1 million trees in New York, to studying ecology in Michigan and restoring streams in Kentucky. 4-Hers are exploring the environment in West Virginia and Indiana and collecting data about water and wildlife in California. And those are just a few of the places where youth are making a difference. That's the end of this story about water. But the story of your water isn't finished being told. How are you going to fit into it? And how will you start your own revolution of responsibility in your community?
This film is brought to you by 4-H, America's largest youth development organization. Made possible by a grant from Toyota.